friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have something really fun to share with you, and I'm actually going to be uploading two videos. I'm going to be uploading this one and one where I'm not talking so much, because this is going to take us a while to get through. So grab a coffee, a hot beverage, a glass of wine, whatever your thing is. This is a judge-free zone, my loves. And let's get into it. So this is my Week in the Life album for 2021. I'm assuming you know that because you clicked on the video. This is my first time completing this project. I've attempted this project on multiple times. This is my first time actually getting an album. And when I say I got an album, I got an album. Next year, I will manage my expectations and I will not include as many things so that it is not the monstrosity that it is, because it doesn't even lay flat. Like, it's so big. There's a few things that I did here. I included way too much stuff, and then I had the nerve to put a bunch of chipboard on top of it. Like, manage your expectations next year, Tashiana. But if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen a lot of the pieces that are in this album. So I made this during the Week in the Life prep day. I used my silhouette to cut out a 2 and a 1, and then I covered it with strips of with strips of cardstock that complemented the colors in the kit to create this kind of like patchwork effect. And I'm really, really happy with the way it came out, and it wasn't too labor intensive. And then this was something that Ali provided if you attended the prep day, which if you don't attend the prep days, they're like the best $5 you'll ever spend. They're so good. And the digitals alone are worth it, but then you get classroom content and everything. It's really good. And then to start my album, I started it with the selfie I took of Joshua and I actually on Saturday this week. It doesn't lie flat. And then what I did was I just did like 2 tiny interviews. So it just says name, age, and your 3 favorite things. So, and we hand wrote it, obviously, so you can see the difference in my handwriting and my husband's handwriting. So I wrote my 3 favorite things were yarn and all the things I can do with it, scrapbooking, and the yummiest nephew in the world. And he said his 3 favorite things were Pokemon Snap, Days of Rest, and watching Fruits Basket with the wifey. And he actually did write with the wifey, and I told him to write it over and he refused. So, Joshua doesn't actually call me the wifey. He just likes to be silly. But anyways, I thought it would be really cool to have our handwriting. Well, my handwriting's all over this album. Oh my God, that's another thing I did is I hand wrote so much of my journaling. But just have a little bit of what we were into right now, and it was the only way I was going to get Joshua to write something down. And then this, I did some stamping with my favorite Hamilton lyric, look around at how lucky we are to be alive right now, and then I stamped it in the colors that matched the kit now. It was supposed to be in sequential order, and then I got here, and I mixed up the Friday color and the Saturday color. YOLO, right? And I wasn't going to do it all over. And I did this using the stamp set. That is the Week in the Life stamp set. So this stamp set, I love a big blocky capital alpha moment, and this one was perfect. So I sat down and took like 20 minutes, stamped it letter by letter, which is not normally how I stamp, and did that. And then here I have this picture that I took. So this is one of the first things I put in my album. Guys, we're gonna have to fight with the glare, by the way, because my lights are really close. And there's going to be so much glare, I'm sorry. This is one of the first things I put in my album. It's just a picture of me holding Joshua's hand, and I thought it would be perfect. And then there's this quote, and this was from last year's Week in the Life kit. I'm a serial Week in the Life buyer and not a serial finisher. This is the first year I finished. So I have so much stuff. Some of it is like universal. This piece that said Week in the Life 2021 had to go in the album this year. Like, this is the only 2021 I'm going to live, right? And then here I did my reason why. So this was also provided during the prep day, and then I had to jazz it up a little bit. So I took some distress inks and did some like ink blending over the top with these funky triangles. And then I just wrote, I'm not going to read my journaling, you guys. I have so much written down. I'll have to figure out a way to share it that's not going to be super labor intensive for me, but I will read my reason why. So it says, because life comes at you fast, because we are constantly changing, and the small things will get lost in the monotony of day-to-day living unless I stop and write them down, because I want to be present, because the ability to be present is a gift, because we are in a new season of life and I want to remember what that looks like, because life should be savored, and this is one way I can do that, because we're all really, really lucky, and it is so easy to lose sight of that in the face of all that is hard, because I want to have a touchstone to look back on a decade from now when I'm writing the story of my life, because life is messy and hard and sometimes downright painful, but it is a gorgeous thing, a myriad of delights, and because I don't want to miss a thing, bring on the messy joys. And that is literally my approach to like everything I do from now on, is bring on the messy joys, right? The full gamut of the human experience. That's what I want. That's what I want to document. That's what I want to write down. So from here we get into Monday, and when I tell you the gratuitous use of chipboard is part of the reason why this album's so big. So I started every day, looks the same. And the formula. It's one of the things I learned from watching people be successful with this project is having a design formula helps. So every day looks the same. So I started with the transparency. Okay, so a few notes before I start. So I did stick to the color of the day. And I do put that in air quotes. If you have the Allie's mini kit, like there's a Monday looks like this, Tuesday looks like this, whatever, and that card has a color. So I did use that to build my the base of each day, and then when it came to embellishments I threw all that out the window. So I started, there were 7 of these chipboard pieces that said the story of today, so I used one on each of the transparency and then did some like pattern building for every day. So here's Monday, and then you'll notice that a lot of my photos period I chose not to embellish because there's so much going on in this album and I really just wanted the photos to speak for themselves. So this picture I took on Monday, okay, I have to like again manage my expectations. If I tell you every single picture I take in this album will be here for an hour. So this picture I took on Monday looking outside of my Uber window, and then I always started with a 6x8 photo, and then I started with a 2 spread photo. It was literally just my favorite picture of the day, and this is my favorite picture on Monday. And then missing a page. My journaling is across 2 pages. And then for every day I picked a lens. So my lens for Monday was some days, most days. And I just wrote about things we did some days, things we did most days. And it was a mix of things that happened that Monday, as well as what our life looked like at this time. So it's a mix of, like, again, mix of things that happened that day, but also things that like had happened the week before, but like routine. And then every day I used my Studio Calico Mega Date stamp and stamped the date 100 times across the top, just to add some color. Okay, so after my journaling, I have a full page photo, and then every day I took a screenshot of what the New York Times looked like, the cover of the Times. The Times is my favorite paper. It's a paper I read every day. And then I got it through the Today's Front Pages app, which is an app you can download. The only thing is you have to save it that day or you're not going to get it again. So I had to remember to save it every day so I could have it. And then I just stapled some diamonds because that gives me, I saw Morgan do this and I thought it was a great idea. It just gives you something to hold on to as you turn the page. And then every day I have this spread, which is a self-portrait and then a mantra. And I write little notes to myself in the Day One app every day. So I went and I took the thing that I like, my mantra every day. It just so happened that a lot of them were short. I could stamp them, and I stamped them on the back. I stamped them on a piece of cardstock and attached them to this transparent half circle that I then went in and stitched into this pocket, just like Allie did. And then I wrote a note to myself every day. So it's today you, and it's dare you, and then a note to myself every day, opposite a self-portrait. So this spread looks the same. And then on the back side of all of those mantras, I took another white circle and I used a stamp from the Paper Person shop and stamped the day of the week in the corresponding color. And so from here, all my photos are going to be black and white because there's a lot of page protector pocket cards that are pretty colorful. And so from here, all my photos are going to be black and white, just to prevent it from being too wild. So here we go. I took a screenshot of the weather every day. I tried to remember to take a screenshot of something that I saw on my phone every day, but on the days that I forgot, I just documented screen time. Every day I did the 5 things from today, and I documented something that I overheard. This was a card I made myself. If you watch my Week in the Life prep video, you will have seen these cards. And then like Monday, there's bagels. It's a picture. I don't know how to do this with this glare. I'm so sorry, you guys. Bagels is a picture of the cat. It's a picture looking into our bedrooms. I came home and Joshua was hanging out in bed. Our bed is just gross and unmade, and the cat was hanging out on the headboard, and I thought it was a really good picture. And then every day I have this mono printed card, and then something I was grateful for, and then a picture of me eating ice cream at my desk and walking home. I did a Stuff of Life pocket every day, just grabbing things that I like, a podcast. We had Taco Bell for dinner. We watched Fruits Basket. I'm obsessed with Fruits Basket. And then I actually had a glassine bag that I used every day to collect the bits and pieces of the day. And I was like, what if I just put the glassine bag? So I actually just took the glassine bag, trimmed it down so you see a little bit of my handwriting. And then on the back side, this is probably my favorite thing of the whole album, I took a black and white picture, and then I made some alcohol ink panels and die cut the day of the week of the alcohol ink panels, and then every place in this that wasn't like solid I cut out, so you get like the idea of the picture without it being the picture. So this is a picture of my broken camera lens because my camera lens broke on Monday. And that's what that is. And then here's a picture of Minnie and Joshua. Minnie just staring me down. And then a picture of my shoes at work. My photos are not in any sort of linear order. They're just they're just printed in the sizes that I wanted them to do. A picture of me making some bags of BSS at work. And then I ended every day with the blah, blah, blah day looks like this. So here's the Monday looks like it. And I didn't do all 10 ING words. I just did whatever felt good. And whatever I felt like documenting that day. All right, so we're going to have to do this significantly faster because it's been 10 minutes and I've just gotten through Monday. So I'll try to talk a little bit less. So here's Tuesday. Tuesday I went on a few solo trips. So here's me on the subway hanging out. Here's Joshua and I playing. Oh, here's something I forgot to mention. So I have these clear acetate days of the week, and these are like probably 3 years old, but I thought they would be perfect across the 2-page photo, and I didn't want to embellish it too much, so I put these, and then I just used one of the phrase stickers that were an add-on that came in green, white, and pink. I use one of the phrase stickers every day. So just a picture of Joshua and I hanging out in bed and playing a video game. We were playing Pokemon that day. I was playing Pokemon Sword, he's playing Pokemon Shield, and I'm playing it on the Switch on the big TV, and he's playing it on the handheld. And it's one of the things we do where we play the same game at the same time, so it's we're like being alone together. So that's what I call our relationship. A lot of our relationship is being alone together. On Tuesday, I did highs and lows. So highs, lows, and lows are very honest. Highs are very honest. All of it's very honest. And then I got some mail that was like fabric scraps, and I don't quilt, but I wanted to use it in my art journal, so I got some like rainbow fabric scraps, and I just thought it was a perfect picture. All right, so here we have the times. Here's my self-portrait. I came home on Tuesday and did some like jelly plate printing and monoprint making. And I thought this would be a really fun picture with my hands just covered in paint. My mantra for Tuesday: I radiate love and deserve joy. Just a picture of me sleeping. So many self-timer shots this week, you guys. So many self-timer shots. My phone, a picture of Jamie Varon, who I discovered because of Allie, and I love following her. She's so good. Pictures of me at work. I got so many pictures of me at work. Random picture of me brushing my teeth, which was an interesting self-timer shot to set up. My Tuesday pocket. The picture Tuesday was a picture of my desk. Oh, Joshua and I this is a really funny story about why we have so much Everspring. So I don't like the geranium and herbs, and he doesn't like the mandarin and ginger. So we have a bottle of each. So when I do the dishes, I use the mandarin and ginger. When he does the dishes, he does the geranium and herbs. And then we have matching hand soap for each of the dish soap. And all of it just lives on our sink all the time. And I don't know if this is something I would have noticed or remembered to document if it wasn't for this project, but I think that's why I like this project so much. It's all these silly little stories. And then I was washing the dishes and he came and like snuck up on me. And I had set the self-timer up to take a picture of me washing the dishes, and here's his hands, and it's just a fun picture. Also on Tuesday, I took myself out for brunch, and I had like creme brulee French toast. So this is also why the album's so big, because I have these pleather stickers. I should have just manage your expectations, Sashi. And then Tuesday looks like this. Okay. So here's Wednesday, and I liked to mix up the colors for this. I thought that was really fun, since the rest of the days are kind of monochromatic. So on Wednesday, I'd snapped this picture of this plant that's growing by my job. I have no idea what it is, but it's really pretty. And then I made something when I came home, and part of the reason why I wanted to document this is I made something and it wasn't a design team project. So much of my scrapbooking these days is for assignments and things that are due. So it's really fun to make something just for the joy of making something. And so that's part of the reason why I wanted to make sure I took this picture. And I since shared this layout. It was a layout documenting me hanging out with one of my coworkers when we went to IKEA. And there we go. Here's the Wednesday. Also, if I had remembered that I was going to use these before I attached everything, I would have stapled these down because I had to use wet glue to get these down. And it's not my favorite. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. And I loved finding one of these pink or these green stickers that match. So this one says the story of this day. My journaling for Wednesday is pretty short. For Wednesday, I did the his and hers lens. So I wanted to document my routine versus Joshua's routine. And it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever written because I wrote it in the third person. So I wrote like she is, he is, she is, he is. And it's kind of snarky. I had a lot of fun with this journaling, and it is kind of snarky. It's kind of humorous. I poke fun of like Joshua leaving his deodorant on the coffee table and me threatening to leave post-its all over the apartment to get him to remember things. And it's fun. It's fun. It's one of my favorite things of the week. Oh my, so I have to say, the week in the life prep days were so good for me because like Lisa and everybody was talking about documenting stuff. And I don't think I would remember to document stuff. Like this is stuff. I have a ridiculous Vans obsession. So I literally joke that I wear Vans until it's warm enough that I can wear my Birkenstocks, and then I wear my Birkenstocks until it's too cold to have my toes out, and then I go back to my Vans. And when I'm not wearing Vans or Birkenstocks, I'm wearing Doc Martens. Those are like the only 3 shoes I care to wear. Like I have a few like going out shoes if I have to go out, but honestly, if I can't wear my Vans, my Birks, or my Doc Martens, I'm not going. That's where my life is right now. And this is not the whole stack. The stack actually goes 2 pairs of shoes lower than this, but I wanted to get a picture of the I wanted to include the denim jacket in the picture. But the Van stack is ridiculous. And I have to keep my shoes in shoe boxes because my cats sharpen their claws for some reason on my shoes. And if I don't leave them in my shoe boxes, they've actually ripped one of my Vans. So now they have to stay in boxes. And it was just, I came home one day. This is right by the entry to the apartment. So the like door to the apartment's right here. And I looked at this and I was like, that's a picture for the album. I don't know if this is going to be the same next year. It might be taller. Who knows? So anyways, it's one of my favorite pictures. This is another picture that's really good, and it's a perfect picture. It's a perfect way of capturing the mood, right? Wednesday was a really, really, really hard day at work for me, and I was just hiding out in the lens room, and I was like, you know what? My coworkers are gonna think I'm crazy, but this is the picture I need to take. So I put my phone on the wall opposite this room, went and sat on this like tiny stool, which is where I was hiding, and set up the self timer. Cool thing about having an Apple Watch is I can do that. I got this perfect picture of me hanging out. And then my mantra for Wednesday, I'm allowed to take a break, which is something I have to constantly remind myself. Another picture of stuff. Joshua comes home every day and just throws his keys and his wallet on the coffee table, no matter how many times I've asked him not to. And I guess that's part of being married, right? It's compromise. So yeah, that's his stuff. Just stuff. I got another picture of me at work on Wednesday. I was like pulling lenses for cataract surgery, and then there's a picture of Minnie, stuff I overheard. I have a screenshot of a text message exchange that I had on Wednesday, picture of me washing my hands. And part of the reason why I wanted to take this picture is because not the picture of me washing my hands, it's everything in the background. So it's all my hair stuff. It's like the oil that I use for my hair, my spray bottle for my hair, my fresh soy cleanser, the hand soap, and then more stuff. I came home on Wednesday, took off my rings, dropped it in the place that I normally dropped it, and I was like, hey, that's a perfect photo op. So it's a picture of my rings, and then Wednesday stuff of life. A quick picture that I had taken in the mirror at work that I never used, so I thought I could use it here. Here's a picture of some of my coworkers opening the room for surgery. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this here, but I am an OR nurse. So they were opening the room and setting up for surgery, and I like took a quick picture of them, and I was like, you guys don't mind if I scrapbook this? And they all looked at me like I was wild. And then I had to take this particular picture like 12 times before I got it. And that's why Josh was smiling in it, because he knew I was generally over it, but I was going to get the picture of me kind of hanging out before we went to bed. And I thought this picture was fun because I put the camera on the ground, because there's Tori in the background. She sits right by my desk, and it's kind of those things where she wants to get pretty close to me, but she doesn't know how close to get. So she's just lurking. So it's a picture of my giant feet, but the reason the picture's fun is because there's a cat. Okay, and then Wednesday looked like this. So let's move on to Thursday. So Thursday, I just got this really cool picture of the sun shining through the trees by our apartment building when I left for work, and I was like, that's a good picture. And then I came home and I was cleaning the bookshelves, and I this is always there, but it just seemed like a cool picture. So these are the centerpieces from our wedding, and I actually made these. I decided I was going to be a Pinterest bride for our wedding. Don't recommend. And I DIY'd a lot of the stuff for it. And so we kept these. We threw away a lot of the stuff from the wedding, but we kept these, and this just lives on our bookshelf. And I was dusting the bookshelf, and I was like, photo op. And so also you can see a lot of what we read, which is mostly fantasy. Yeah, mostly fantasy. My Thursday lens was Joy Looks Like. So I did the 5 senses: Joy looks like, Joy smells like, Joy feels like, Joy sounds like, Joy tastes like. And then Joshua snapped a picture of me making cereal, and then he was laughing at me because there's milk on the counter because I'm a slob. But the difference between him and I is I clean up the milk on the counter, and he would have probably left it there at times. And then a picture of me at work. Mantra for Thursday: I don't have to please everyone, which is something I'm also constantly reminding myself. And I like this picture because it's just a picture of me at work. So many wasted pictures because I was violating HIPAA and I had to keep trying not to. So that's a good picture. On Thursday, there was a strong story chat, and I took a picture of the phone while everybody else was taking a picture, and I thought it was pretty cool. Thursday's laundry day, and I woke up before my husband did to go take the laundry, and there's just a picture of my like bra hanging from the doorknob of the bathroom next to like the hamper, and it was just, it's classic, like it's real life, right? And that's why now that I look at it, I'm like, I probably could have picked a better picture, but I don't think there would have been a picture as good as this one. I had a passion tea lemonade at work. We get Starbucks delivered to my job all the time. It's a really bad thing. It's really bad for my wallet. And so I had a Starbucks that day. Joshua took this picture of me. He was like, look, I want everyone to see that you hang out on your phone and you do nothing too. And so a lot of these pictures, especially the pictures of me, are pictures that Joshua took. He took my camera and took a bunch of pictures. Thursday, stuff of life. We watched Free Willy on Thursday. We were literally just scrolling through HBO Max, and HBO was like, we think you'd be interested in this. And I was like, yes. Oh, see, here's our laundry slip. Joshua and I don't do our own laundry. We're awful people. So we get our laundry picked up, washed, folded, and dropped off for us. It's just because we're lazy and it fits our lifestyle. We started doing it when I was in school and I didn't have the time to do laundry, and then we just never left that. Here's a picture of Tori that I chopped up, and then a picture of me hanging out in bed Thursday morning, and I like it because Josh was just sleeping in the background. Most mornings he wakes up before me, but Thursday's his day off, so it's like the only day that he wakes up and that I wake up and he's still sleeping, and that's kind of why I wanted to include this picture. And then there's a picture of me shaving my legs Thursday. And this chipboard was my favorite, doing all the very basic stuff of life in this moment, because what's more basic than shaving your legs before going to work? Picture of me hanging out at my desk. And then Thursday looks like this. All right. We are moving right along. So now we're at Friday. Picture of me at work. This is one of my favorite pictures in this entire album. This is my macrame cord stash. If you know anything about me, you know I love textiles and I like weaving. So this is my macrame cord stash. Well, I'm looking at it. It's not all of it. It's everything that I could fit in this shot. But I do keep my macrame cord in rainbow order because it's me. And I just thought it was a really cool shot. It printed really nicely too. And then Friday, my lens was for the love. So I wrote for the love of coworkers, for the love of cats, for the love of a partner, and just wrote about all the ways that they show me love and I show them love. And then Friday I went to Target, and the Target was by the water, and I just saw this like really cool, I don't know, I really liked the way the water looked. There's a little seagull back there. And then I took a picture in the mirror at Target, and it's not something that I normally do. I was walking around the Target, and this mirror was on the ground, which is why I'm in a crouch, and I picked up my camera, I took the picture really quick and ran before anyone realized what I was doing. It was one of my favorite pictures of the week, right? I'm wearing my Vans. This is the Vans that the cats ruined, so you can see that, well, you can't really see, but I can see that the thread on this side's ruined because the cats have pretty much eaten that shoe, and that's why my shoes live in a box. Friday's mantra was I can say yes to what feels good. Also Friday, see, here's my coworkers. That's Alice and Alona. Those are the two nurses I work with the most. And we had changed to go home on Friday, and they changed before me. So they were sitting in the office waiting for me, and I snuck in through the door and took that picture of them before they even noticed. Friday, Josh and I played like a board game. Friday's like board game night at home. And we played this game called Unspeakable Words, and you have to like collect Cthulhu's. And so here's some pictures of our Cthulhu's just hanging out. And then in my Stuff of Life pocket, like I saved, this is really hard with this glare, I'm very sorry. I saved bits and pieces of the scoreboard, and I won both rounds we played, which never happens. I never win when we play board games, but I thought it was cool to save the pieces of the scoreboard. And then here's a picture of Joshua sleeping, a picture of Joshua showering. I really liked the way that looked, especially printed in black and white. It's kind of fuzzy, like you know he's in there, but you can't really see him. And then turnabout's fair play, because I took that picture of him on Friday, told him on Saturday, and then he stalked me in the shower on Saturday to get a picture of me showering, because this is what being married to us is like, I guess. Here's a picture of us playing a game. I like the smile on his face. We're just hanging out at the table playing the game. Here's like my macrame and all my yarn stash. And this is what happens when you live in a tiny apartment. Stuff's everywhere. And then just a picture of Minerva being the most regal cat ever, with the light coming in on Friday afternoon. And now we make it to Saturday. So we are moving right along with this album. Okay, so Saturday we went to brunch, and Joshua took this picture of me while we were walking to brunch. It's one of my favorite pictures of me that he's taken. And then I set this down. Amy Gretchen and Kelly had shared that they were like taking intentionally blurry photos, and I was like, I want to be one of the cool kids. So I set the camera down on the sidewalk, and my husband was like, you're gonna leave your camera on the sidewalk? And I was like, dude, if anyone's gonna come get my camera, I can probably catch them before they get it. Which was a little bold of me, I'm not gonna lie. I set my camera down on the sidewalk, and then like I intentionally like blurred out the focus, and then we were like 5 feet away, and I took some pictures as we were walking towards it, and it's just this picture makes me so happy. Saturday's lens was Saturdays are for. So Saturdays are for sleeping in, Saturdays are for pressing pause, Saturdays are for brunch dates, Saturdays are for slowing down, Saturdays are for playtime, Saturdays are for intimacy, and I just did some writing about what Saturdays are for. And then this is a picture of Joshua coming home. Here's my screenshot. Oh yeah, here's a picture of, so this is really funny because he was taking the picture and he drew a little heart on the inside of the shower. So he showered first and then I showered, and then we were going to brunch, and he drew a heart on the inside of the shower, and I did not know why until I saw the picture. And so he wanted to make sure that the heart was in the frame, and I thought it was pretty cool. And so I cropped it down so it's not indecent, but it's one of my, I don't know, all the pictures Joshua took of me that week were really, really good. Saturday's mantra was laughter lightens my load, which is something that I keep reminding myself, like, it's okay to laugh. Like, laughter is the best medicine. Laugh, you crazy girl. It's a picture of Joshua laying on the floor and harassing Minerva. Again, it's just little shots of like our everyday life. Here he got a picture of me like washing my hair by the sink Saturday morning. So it's just me bent over by the sink. And then like real little snippets of our bedroom. I didn't take much pictures of our bedroom, so I took a picture, like I'm always working on embroidery. So here's a picture of like my most recent embroidery project. Living on top of my MAC lipstick stash. Because that's why I keep stuff, to keep it away from the cats. I'm always like hiding things from the cats. On Saturday, I watched Tim Holtz do a live, and he said thinking is overrated, and I immediately wrote that down for my overheard. So it's really, really small, but it's something that I want to remember. And then I went and played with alcohol inks after watching Tim's live. Here's a picture of my yarn stash. It just lives on my nightstand because I'm constantly working on something. This is the part where the album starts to do strange things. Here's my Saturday Stuff of Life pocket. We like binge watched Demon Slayer over the week because I wanted to go see the movie Mugen Train. So Saturday we finally finished watching Demon Slayer. So much Demon Slayer over the past week. And then I had a dirty water hot dog. That's what I call them. If you live in New York City, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you've ever been to New York, it's like the little hot dog trucks. I always get my hot dogs with ketchup and onions. And Josh and I call them dirty water hot dogs because who knows the last time they like changed that water. And it's probably filthy, but it's like a New York thing, right? You have to get a dirty water hot dog. And then here's a picture of me hanging out in bed Saturday morning, and then us hanging out in bed Saturday evening. I just took a picture of our feet. There's a cat. There's always a cat. And then here's my makeup brushes and a picture of my vanity. And then Sunday, almost there, you guys. Almost there. This video is going to be a half hour long. I'm so sorry. Picture of me hanging out with Minnie and Tori. They came up to me in the bed and started demanding that I pet them. And Joshua just took this picture of me while the cats were demanding I pet them. When Joshua and I went to Disney World for our honeymoon, we had matching Mr. and Mrs. t-shirts. I now sleep in mine, so that's why I'm in my Mrs. t-shirt in the bed. Sunday we went to Costco. So again, I just literally put the camera on the shelf on the opposite side of the aisle, ran over, took the picture, put the camera back in my pocket, and kept walking like nobody could see me. The stuff I did to get pictures this week. Sunday's lens, is I want to remember. So I just wrote a lot about what I want to remember from this week. This was the picture that I really, really like. So the cat's litter box just lives in our bathroom because it just makes more sense to have the cat's litter box in the bathroom. And I don't know where I was going, but I was walking past the bathroom and Tori was just sitting there and she was just like backlit. And I was like, yep, that's a shot. So I got down on the ground and took a picture because here's stuff. You see the cat litter box with like the stuff we use to like empty the box, the cat. I don't know. I just thought it was a really fun picture. And I'm really glad I got it. So Sunday, I took a picture of me in my Ranger apron. I really like this Ranger apron. I don't remember what I was making on Sunday, but I was clearly making something. And I went to the bathroom, stopped and took a picture, and then went back to doing what I was doing. Sunday's mantra is every given day is a gift. Here's a knitting project I was working on. So I'm making a sweater. My screenshot of the weather. It's so funny looking at it because it's 60 degrees with a high of 72 like 2 weeks ago. It's almost June and it's 46 degrees today. So yeah, kind of fun how the weather in New York changes. This is a screenshot that I had taken of something Andrea shared, and I really liked it. And I saved it to my like Instagram, like, you know, like you hit the little flag and you can save things, but I also wanted to take a screenshot of it. And then here's a picture of Minnie. We made brunch at home, so we made avocado toast, which is hard to tell because the picture's printed in black and white, but I just wanted to like document that we actually cooked one of our own meals, because we almost never cook our own meals. Sunday, over the weekend, I don't even know what day it is anymore. Oh Lord, this glare is awful because of how fat this album is. I'll have to hold it like this just so you can see it. So on Sunday, we went to the Alamo Draft House to see Mugen Train. We got ice cream cones on the way to the subway, because that's just what you do. If you walk past an ice cream truck, you get an ice cream cone. Here's my Stuff of Life pocket for Sunday. I saved like our movie ticket and the receipt. The movie theater we went to is like one of those eat-in theaters. So like we got milkshakes, loaded fries, and pretzels. It's one of those theaters where you can get like real food and they have tables and stuff. The Sunday picture is a picture I took overhead. I was on my computer while Josh was still sleeping, so I held the camera up like really, really high and took a picture top down. And then I took this picture head on of me reading a book. I was reading The Lies We Told at the time. There's Joshua just being a lump. So many of my pictures of me in bed is just him being a lump. I also use like Avery index tabs on top of all the 5x7 prints to help me turn them. So these prints are 5x7. I probably should have said that, but these are 5x7. On the back side is a picture of Joshua putting away the dishes. He actually volunteered to do this. It was like a tiny miracle. And then my last picture of Sunday is just the cats hanging out before we went to bed. And here Sunday looks like this. So that was my Week in the Life album, you guys. I had the most fun working on this project. Literally the most fun. I really got to figure out a way to share my stories with you, because I would love to. So I might have to like take pictures. Maybe I'll do a blog post. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I'll find some way to share my words with you. Or maybe I'll just do a blog post and copy and paste. Actually, it's probably what I'm going to do, is do a blog post and just copy and paste all the words from the Day One app, because everything's written down there. If you're interested in the stories that I documented in this album. That's probably what I'm going to do. Let's just do a blog post and copy and paste it. So it won't be pictures of this, but it'll just be the text. So if you're interested in the stories, I will link that blog post there. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I'm also posting a sped up version of this with no commentary. So if you just want to go back and see a particular page, you can watch that one instead of listening to me talk for the last half hour. But that's all I have for you. So until next time, keep it crafty and have the very best day, and I'll see you around. Bye for now.